What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video. And earlier today, I put out a video talking about David Jaffe, the former creator of God of War, and a sniveling coward of a man who recently came under fire after saying really crazy stuff. When we come over here to Fandom Pulse, God of War director David Jaffe blames YouTube grifters for killing Dragon Age the Veilguard and compares transgenderism to being black. Now, if you saw my earlier video, I will have it linked down in the description below. I played you his video, and none of it makes logical sense. David Jaffe truly is a mental lightweight when it comes to his thought processes and everything that he does. It's all based on emotional arguments, trying to compare transgenderism to being black, so on and so forth, because the dude truly has no real arguments outside of fear-mongering, belittling, and emotional outbursts. And because people saw what he had to say, people decided to make videos on him. People made content about him, one of which ended up being Vera Dark. Vera put out a video, had decent comments about him, spoke about her own interactions with David Jaffe and how he has been honestly a very awful human being to her. And that's usually what you end up seeing when it comes to male feminists. When they see a woman that does not actually agree with their ideology, they're usually quite heinous to them and will say some very disgusting things to them. And because Vera here basically whipped out her proverbial junk and smacked him in the face with it, he lost his cool. And we come over here to Fandom Pulse again. God of War creator melts down and spazzes out after Vera Dark roasts him. Vera called him a mental lightweight. I'm going to continue calling him that because that is truly who he is. He is a mental lightweight who, if you do not agree with him 100%, he will come after you very viciously and he will show you just how deranged he truly is. He is a disgusting individual. He will say whatever it takes to get his way, and ultimately, he's nothing more than another leftist coward. And I would play you his 4-minute long video about this situation, but what it boils down to is he's mad that Vera Dark is more popular than him. He's mad that Vera Dark schooled him, and he's freaking out over the simple fact that he has no real arguments. In this entire video, he starts calling Vera Dark a grifter. He starts saying that she's only popular because, well, she has long hair, is a girl, and that's the only reason people ever listen to her. She's not good at what she does, bloody, 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 blah. This is all coming from David Jaffe instead of actually tackling her arguments. Her argument was, I don't like how you treat people. I think your arguments are mundane, very childish, doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense. And in response to that, all you do is attack her personal looks, her gender, and decide to start deriding her based on the fact that she's a woman. Not very progressive of you. And when we actually come back here to the Fandom Pulse article, we can see just how insane and brain rotten he truly is. Once we start getting more down here, he then whined, "You just don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do this. You are in that chair, Vera, because of your hair and your face and your gender." And that's fine, by the way. There's no problem with that. I don't deny anyone making money and building an audience off of the things that they've got. Well, it's obvious that you do care because you're pointing it out. You being a very hyper-progressive individual, a male feminist, a dude that also goes around preaching the joys of transing the children, wouldn't you be okay with her being all this stuff? Why are you using those positions as an attack vector? Oh, it's because she doesn't agree with you politically, doesn't agree with you on ideological fronts, so you are now attacking her and deriding her because she's not one of the good ladies. That's why you're doing it. But let's be clear, so far, my encounters with you online, you're a mental lightweight. And that's fine. People have all kinds of, you know what? I'm bad at Vera. I'm bad at math, man. Obviously, she's more successful than you. When you just take a look over at your sub counts, 137K to your measly 55.2K subscriber count. She is objectively more successful than you. She is obviously better than this than you are. And when we take a look at just view counts on these videos, 11K views on your video compared to her 24K views. Again, more successful than you, obviously better than you. She knows what she's doing. Looks can only get you so far in this game. You actually have to be entertaining in order to get to this point or actually know what it is that you're doing. Vera knows what it is that she's doing. It's pretty self-explanatory, and it's pretty objectively obvious that she knows what she's doing. You, however, have no real arguments. You have no way to actually vocalize any argument. And we can see that as we keep moving down. Making it clear his entire video was projection, Jaffe then shared an example showing how much of a mental lightweight he is. If I was like in NASA and they were like, oh shite, this space station's going to explode. Everybody, we can only solve this by looking at the blueprints and the math and the geometry. I don't effing know. Within 5 minutes, they'd be like, Jaffe, go get the coffee. It's not for you. That's okay. They're right. Okay? What does that prove? That just proves that you're not good at anything. You're not saying that she's not good at anything. All you're saying is that you're not good at anything. What is she wrong about? Oh, she's wrong because she disagreed with you and she didn't like how you were approaching things. She vocalized her own opinions, her own thoughts. She gave examples. And your example is just saying that you are bad at stuff. What's she bad at? You have no examples of it. You can't give actual examples because you're just spurging at this point. Your voice could literally get Putin to back out of the Ukraine. The Ukraine was a boy band from the 80s. I don't really think he needed all that little bits, but yes, that's words that he said in his exact video. Ukraine, you have about as much mental capacity as a spider that I killed in my shower this morning. It's the goddamn truth, Vera, he concluded. Where's your evidence to back this up? You see, I watched the whole video. I'm not playing you the whole video because it's 4 minutes and it's just nonsense. If you go back to my video that I did earlier on him today and you play just the 2 minutes that I broke down for you, he has no real arguments on anything. It's always emotional outbursts. It's always fear mongering. It's always misrepresentations. Everything is bad faith from his mouth. And even in that 2-minute little segment that I played for you in the earlier video, he completely destroys his own argument by saying that YouTubers on the internet who just grift don't ever play the game. But then at the end of his argument, he says that all the video game grifters who said that they hated the game played the game. It can't be both. Those two realities cannot coexist. Either they didn't play the game or they did play the game. And the fact of the matter is, most of the people that were complaining about Dragon Age the Veilguard did in fact play the game because they wanted to come with receipts. And if the game was good, guess what? Everybody would be saying that the game was good. And this reality, no, the game was just objectively bad. And you can't handle the fact that the game was objectively bad because of your ideology, because you believe with it on an ideological level. And because Vera Dark disagrees with you on both the ideological level and also acknowledges that the game was objectively bad, you have to attack her and deride her, even going against your own ideological beliefs. And that's what we're seeing with all this. David Jaffe is a true believer TM in this moment. He truly believes within the woke ideology, but he believes in it so much so that he's also a coward, and he is a mental lightweight when it comes to full-fledged arguments and debates on all this stuff. You can even go back to a Side Scrollers episode where he had a debate against Melanie Mack, in which all he had was emotional outbursts, bad faith arguments, deriding and attacking everybody who disagreed with his own life choice at the time. He is a male feminist through and through, and because of his ideology, if you disagree with him, you are the bad person. But this whole story keeps going on when you even see like how his thumbnail for the video are. Are they smart enough for YouTube? Trying to say that Vera Dark isn't smart enough for YouTube, isn't good enough for YouTube. The fact of the matter is, David, you're not smart enough for YouTube. You're not clever enough for YouTube. All you rely on, again, is emotional outbursts, bad faith arguments, deriding the opponent, straw manning, so on and so forth. You are a mental lightweight, and nobody's going after you for your mental abilities. Nobody's going after you for that. People are just responding to what you put out on the internet. And because Vera Dark, who's a more successful creator, obviously beautiful, knows what it is that she's doing, she schooled you on it, you have to now come out here and spurg about it. That's what this is. And Vera Dark also has more evidence to back up the fact that he's just an insane individual. David once claimed, "I don't know anything about him." Yet, in this video, he proves he knows nothing about me. I have never voiced who I have voted for. I have never said if I think Obama is really a US citizen or not. He says, "You guys talk about kids going to school and coming home a different sex. These are all topics I have never voiced an opinion on." He holds so much hatred for the political party opposite to his that he just groups anyone who isn't a radical leftist together, which is dangerous. He says a grifter is someone who makes money by lying to people. Judging by his definition, he's effing grifting. By your own definition, you are the grifter. You are lying to people, you are misrepresenting the truth, and you're doing it all on an emotional level because you have no true arguments. Brother, I stream video games 20 plus hours a week. I stream most major releases. I talk about games for who knows how many hours a week on top of that via videos. Sure, sometimes I'm wrong and I admit it, but 95% of the time my opinions are consistent. And that's true. I've eaten crow before. I've been wrong before. I talk about it. I admit it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But when it comes to people like David Jaffe, they're not allowed to be wrong. They always have to double down, triple down, quadruple down. These are all, everything she said here is things that he said in the video that she has done, even though she's never done it. And that's how these people think. If you are against them, you're guilty of all these things. You're guilty of the birthing stuff. You're guilty of saying all this insane stuff. You're guilty of, going around saying that your kids are going home and then coming home a different gender, even though that is what happened to you, David. You're guilty of all that stuff. You're guilty of everything, even if you've never actually vocalized it. You're the problem because they refuse to actually do any research and they only argue from that emotional point. David Jaffe is a broken, cowardly man that does need true logical help, but he's never going to get it as long as he keeps spurting out on the internet and proves to the world that he's nothing more than a deranged leftist. I'm going to leave it there. Let me get your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit your subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.